Hello, and welcome to another exciting edition of Hidden in the Universal Vault. I'm Ryne, your host, and I'm welcoming you to my review of The Legend of Bagger Vance from 2000. Now, Legend of Bagger Vance is a DreamWorks, so we're going back into the DreamWorks filmographies. We're going back to the DreamWorks film library, however you want to say it. But Legend of Bagger Vance is actually directed by Robert Redford, and it stars Will Smith and Matt Damon and Charlize Theron. Now, Bagger Vance is a movie that I always was really excited to check out for the longest time, and it's a movie about golf. So let's actually talk about The Legend of Bagger Vance. So the movie basically, it tells the story of a down-and-out golfer who basically, the back of the DVD doesn't tell much, so I'm going to word it the way I will say. So he's a golfer, and basically he's a down-and-out golfer. So he tries to make it big by going against these two veteran golfers. So the beginning of the film starts at the narrator, played by an uncredited Jack Lemmon, which would be the actor's last role. So right then we cut to him as a young man, cut to him as a little boy basically, who meets who meets Damon's character. I'm not sure what his name is. So he meets Matt Damon's character, and then he is, like I said, down-and-out golfer, and he has a relationship with Charlize Theron's character. I can't think of her name off the bat. So now we get to Will Smith, who's Bagger Vance. I assume he was a golfer, but he's actually a caddy, who becomes Damon's caddy. So basically now he's golfing against the likes of another veteran golfer, Bobby Jones. So basically, yeah, that's the sum of the film. This movie is less about golf and more of a character study. It's similar to the movie Snow Falling on Cedars, which is also a movie about character study, which was on my 10 best list of last year. This movie is second best, but we don't get golf until 2/4 into the film, but it feels more like a drama than a golf movie. I'm going to tell you right now, I was not expecting to like a movie about golf. Damon's also a war veteran, so he's come back from the war, and now he wants to go back into golfing. So as I said, now the match is going on with Bobby Jones and another golfer played by Bruce McGillis. He's another character actor that a lot of people know who he is. So that's really the gist. And Damon, like I said, really strong performances. Although it's kind of weird to see Will Smith in a movie directed by Robert Redford. So basically, the golf match, I really liked the movie. I thought the movie, to be honest, the movie had a lot of heart in its right direction. It didn't go for the phony, typical golf movies. Normally when I watch a golf movie, I usually watch like a golf comedy, like a Happy Gilmore or a Caddyshack. Those movies poke fun at the sport of golf. Here it's less golf, but more about the characters. This movie, I feel, again, it's really good cinematography. Oh, this movie is also made by Fox as well, so they also will go on to work with DreamWorks on 2 more movies. Maybe, yeah, the ones noted as Minority Report and Road to Perdition, which is a movie covered on the channel. I think they worked on the movie Post and Lincoln, which are 2 movies I own but have not covered. This movie is really strong. This movie was almost close to being in my 10 best list. I'm still thinking about putting this because it's really hard to say. But I will say this. This movie is really, really, really good. The acting, stellar. Cinematography, phenomenal. Golf, isn't that bad. I feel like at times when I watch a golf movie, it can kind of get boring. But the ending is what really makes this really strong. That's going to bump it up to... It's going to bump it up a lot of points when I go ahead and rate the movie. But I feel, again, all the performances are just stunning. It's just a really heartwarming story about golf. And again, I find golf a very boring sport. But I was invested in this. I was rooting for Damon's character to win. It's one of those that you'll be rooting to the very end. The beginning of it plays out. Lemon's the narrator, which cut to him as a young man. That's not spoiling anything. Then it cuts back to Lemon later on, his character, who's the narrator. And then it's just... The message that Bagger Vance gives at the end is so powerful. He says at the end of the film, but I'm not going to tell you how he said at the end. But if you watch this, and yeah. So what did I think of Robert Redford as director? Now, Mr. Redford did appear on this channel as an actor, because I have covered movies he was in. The last Redford movie I covered was Legal Eagles, and he was really good in that. How's his direction? Well, the only other movie I've seen him ever directed was Ordinary People. That was his first feature film. He also directed his second movie for the studio, Universal, which was the Mongol Beanfield War. This movie, I feel like it's similar to River Runs Through, which is another movie that dealt with life between just being a good person, between the battles of good and evil. This movie feels like it has the battles between good and evil. But yeah, this movie I feel is better than A River Runs Through It, because I feel like these characters more than I did in A River Runs Through It. This movie is just wow. And yeah, this is a 2-hour movie, but it feels like an hour movie. Besides, I watched 2-hour movies that felt like more than 3 hours. This movie flies by real fast. The guy who plays Bobby Jones also played the grown-up kid in Emperor's Club, Emil Hirsch's character that grows up to be an adult. That's the only other movie that guy's been in. But that's really some of this. My battery's really low right now, so I'm going to kind of wrap this up really quick before I run out of juice and I can't finish the review. So I'm going to wrap it up there. But I'm going to say this right now, guys. I can recommend Bagger Vance, The Legend of Bagger Vance, but I'm just going to say Bagger Vance for sure. But if you have not seen Bagger Vance, this is a really, really well-made movie. The book was actually written in 1995, so I forgot to mention that. And Redford seems to do a lot of these sort of slice-of-life movies, these feel-good, what is like growing up in the past. And I can easily say, if you ignore, I don't think there's any flaws. I'm trying to think of any flaws. Though, I feel like some of the golf took way too long. But I can ignore that when I think, this is going to be hard. I found another banger. And this movie is just a near masterpiece. I kind of went back and forth on rating between one or the other. But if you're a fan, if you love the sport of golf, this is not for you, because there's less about golf and more about these characters. The golf's kind of like its own character. In fact, as said before, it doesn't go until 2 quarters into the movie. Then we get the golf. This is more of getting to know these characters. Bagger Vance is just such a charming, he's such a gentleman. He makes you feel more at home. Bagger Vance, like, he meets Damon and says, let me be your caddy. He basically becomes a caddy. Again, I thought he was a golfer, but I was totally wrong on this. So that's all I'm going to say about The Legend of Bagger Vance. Let's go ahead and rate this right now. I'm going to give The Legend of Bagger Vance a 4 out of 5. I kind of wish it was a little bit shorter, but I can ignore that. This is almost close to being on my 10 best list. I don't know yet. I have to think about that before I decide to run down my list. But I can easily say this is a highly recommendation. If you've not seen Bagger Vance, get a copy, check the movie out. Ton of fun. I hope to cover another Redford film that he directed, which is the Mongol Beanfield War. I don't have that movie, but sorry for like The Shadow and sorry for the AC guys again. But please go watch Bagger Vance. It's a really well made movie. So that is my review of The Legend of Bagger Vance. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you do like the content channel, like, comment, subscribe, click the bell, ring the bell to get all my video notifications so you don't miss a single video on the channel. I have tons of Universal videos and Vlog City videos and just a ton of content on my channel. So yeah, I actually, just to let you know guys, I did a playlist of all the DreamWorks movies. So if you just want to watch my reviews of the DreamWorks filmography, I have a playlist done of that right now. I hope to cover more DreamWorks before the end of the year. But yeah, check out Bagger Vance. Really, really, really good movie. I can easily recommend this movie. All three of these actors should, Matt Damon, Will Smith, and Charlize Theron all should get Oscar-worthy performances. All should get Oscars because it's that good. So yeah, that's it guys. And as always, keep watching those Universal movies, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.